Film is a medium that transports. All I have to do is pop myself in front of the TV to watch a movie, and I can just enjoy it, whatever place the film takes me to.
Movies have always been an escape. It gives you a whole new world to be in.
I have a rekindled love affair with movies.
Welcome, everyone, to this episode of Real to Real Talk. I forgot that was the long intro once again. And I am here with Paul Britton and Susan Chisholm as we get together once again to talk all things movies. Team, it's time to spin the wheel.
Yeah. Woohoo! It's your wheel spinning fantasy today, kids.
Oh, and it's always a fun time.
Yeah.
It is time once again for Netflix Roulette, courtesy of our friends at realgood.com. You can spin the wheel yourself at realgood.com/roulette and figure out all kinds of weird movies you didn't know about. And so today, Paul, it was your turn to give us the topic. So what did you choose?
I went with fantasy movies. I figured, we did sci-fi a little while ago. It's time to, take the other end of the sci-fi fantasy mixed genre and just do fantasy and see what we get. And yeah, no regrets, I suppose.
Yeah.
Big time regrets, I suppose.
Mine was quite entertaining.
Excellent.
I don't know that it intended to, but Susan,
Always
didn't
fun.
you tell me you spun and you got something that you were like, what?
Yes. So let me explain, folks, for the folks at home. The roulette wheel is exactly what it sounds like. You go in, you select your topic, you select your service. So this time we chose Netflix, and you can select a movie and whatever genre you like. You click spin, and it gives you a movie. The rule at Real to Real Talk is you get what you get, and you don't throw a fit. You don't respin unless you've seen it before.
Yep.
Or
if there's like pet mutilation in the first 10 minutes of the movie, you have to bail.
Trigger warnings, anything like that. Obviously, if it's something you can't handle. There is no statement about the length of the film. So the first time I spun, because I spun twice, I admit it. The first time I spun, my film was 4 minutes long.
That's not a movie.
And I went on there and I looked and I did not see it on Netflix. I said, okay, fine. All right. Okay. Well, I can't watch that. It's not on Netflix. The second time I spun.
An 8-hour movie.
I checked. I made sure I had movie, and you could select
not
movie
TV
or
show.
TV shows.
Yeah.
Only thing was selected was movies. And my movie, I got a short film. I did get a short film.
Okay.
Am I just gonna go first? We'll just go first.
Well, that wasn't what I was talking about, but
okay.
I mean, sure, because we're this far in. No, there was a title you got. There was a title you got that was so not fantasy. Or was that you, Paul?
No.
Somebody had made mention of a movie title, and y'all were like, "That's not even fantasy. Like, that's not even close." Do you recall, Susan? Because I wasn't me.
Oh, I do remember, but I can't remember what it was called. It was. But it was a mainstream movie, and it was one of those things where it was like, that is not a fantasy movie. It was.
And it was weird, Paul, because even when you got to, how it spins, and then it gets you to the movie title itself, poster, and it gives you the little category types. Fantasy wasn't even in there, and so it was.
It was like horror and comedy. Like that.
Yeah, I go back to where we started, and that's the notion that the wheel gives us some weird stuff every so often. Because what was the topic? I think it was not we're doing fantasy, but when we did when she had to do Pee-wee's
cult
big ass trip or whatever.
Cult.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. It just didn't seem to fit. So
yeah. Wow.
Pee-wee's holiday, big holiday.
But just to stitch back though, Susan, we'll start with you for sure. Time was something I'd never considered.
Yeah. So in keeping with, so I did a little bit of research because I was curious about this. So to be considered a film or like a short film, it has to be over over 9 minutes or something like that. If considered a short feature film or a short documentary film, short feature films has to be at least 9.5 minutes or something like that.
Yep.
So the movie that I got did indeed qualify for feature film length. However, it was not by much.
Oh no.
The film that I got was 17 minutes long.
All right, we're instituting rules before next time, but okay,
We
go
will
ahead.
talk about that later.
That's a
But
whole other
first,
conversation.
My turn. Let me tell you a story about how you know this guy who kind of sometimes directs and writes stuff, and his name is David Lynch, I think.
Oh my God.
Maybe. Oh, I see you familiar with this gentleman. Yes, okay.
I'm so sorry. I hate David Lynch movies, but go on.
Okay. And then
17 minutes.
A 17-minute film. Second question. Have you guys ever heard of this? It's on YouTube, and there's a group of guys that take videos and they cut out the audio and then they record themselves over the audio saying what they think their mouth. It's called bad lip reading.
Bad lip reading. Yeah, bad lip reading is hilarious.
The movie that I got was very reminiscent of bad lip reading. And the movie that I got to watch was called What Did Jack Do? This is an interview of so David Lynch is actually the star of the show, one of 4 characters credited in the movie. It's a 2017 short film where they the premise is that they're in a locked down train station because there has been a murder, and David Lynch is interviewing the main suspect, who is a monkey.
Oh God.
So continuing on with what I was saying about the bad lip reading is that there were these random quotes, these random things that people that they would say back and forth, and it was like one of those things, like as if on Snapchat where you can put your mouth on another like a mouth on another creature and move your mouth and it makes it look like the creature's talking. That's what they did to this monkey, but it was like normal sized mouth. And it was random things like David Lynch would say something like Santa Claus doesn't exist, and the monkey would say, "Where's the fire?" in response to that.
Yeah, that sounds like David Lynch, all right.
You'll get no free lunches here. Well, where's the Easter Bunny? I mean, those are literally quotes from my film. I have more questions now than I have ever had in my life about a movie. But
And
my
it's
main
only-
one, the biggest one in giant capital letters with 3 exclamation points at the end of all the question marks is why?
Yeah, because it's David Lynch. He thinks
So,
he's
so that was my film was
I mean, it fits the trend of weirdness.
right.
so
our
yeah,
roulette
I mean, with the fantasy, I mean, I think I've only ever had one actually bad roulette experience. This one I wouldn't even consider bad. I would just consider
Weird.
odd.
Yeah.
Very okay. So you should totally watch it, just because if I had to suffer, so should you. Just kidding. Also, it's just really weird. It just didn't. There were points that didn't make us like they were. They ended up talking about. So the monkey is confessing sort of that he did this crime, but then he was also talking about how he had a love affair with a chicken, and then
Sure,
the
why
chicken
not?
runs through the train station cafe, and he's like, the name of the chicken, which is very long, and he's like chasing after her, and he's like, when you reach up under the feathers and you feel their full breast. I was like, okay, yeah. So let me just say, friends, it's weird.
Mm.
It's fantastic in terms of meaning that it is a fantasy movie. Not fantastic and good in any way, no. But yeah, so my vote, 0 tacos.
Whoa.
I have a question though. It's a burning question of my own.
Tacos.
Did you ever find out what Jack did?
He killed him.
Okay. So,
Spoiler alert. Sorry.
I mean, I
He
can
did
give
the
up
crime.
17 minutes and no.
It did, and the best part is that
The
it's not
monkey.
even the full 17 minutes, because the last 2 minutes of the I forgot completely. How could I forget this? It has everything you need, including a full musical style feature of the monkey singing about true love's flame, something. And the song was written by David Lynch too. So,
I'll watch it just for that.
yeah, the last 2 minutes or so are actually just credits. So you really only get about 15 minutes of actual film, and it's dead silence at the end while the credits are rolling. It's just one of those things where you sit there and go, "What planet am I on?" It's worth the 15 minutes to sate your curiosity. However, don't tell me that it was good in any way, shape, or form, or artistic, and go, "Oh my God, so beautiful," because I will find you and choke you. I will find you. I will walk to your house barefoot. Good.
Yeah.
Wow.
David Lynch brought me my least favorite "What the hell did I just watch" with Eraserhead, so I understand where you're coming from. Yeah.
Well, there you go. There you go. What did Jack do? And it can be found. The fact that I have to say it can be found on Netflix is what's amazing to me. So,
God bless you, Netflix. God bless you.
Yes, giving room for any form of art or whatever they might call it. All right. Well, Paul, I guess it's up to you and I. I don't know if we should flip a coin or if
I'll go.
Okay.
Let's end on a semi-high note of some kind for you.
Uh-oh.
So, my movie, the good news with my movie is that I got a movie starring Zendaya, which you would think, hey, that sounds fantastic. Mega win. We all like Zendaya, and yes, I am fully in on the Zendaya bandwagon. I'm on it. Let's go. Let's do it. Unfortunately, this was Zendaya's first feature film where she was, basically the star of the movie, not something where she was a little kid and she was like Brownie Troop number 2 or whatever, just actually like, oh, it's Zendaya and she's the first credited person on the movie. And if you know about Zendaya, she got her start on the Disney Channel with a show on the Disney Channel. And so this was a vehicle coming off of her show on the Disney Channel that was on the Disney Channel. And if you're a parent and your kids are into the tween shit that they put on the Disney Channel, you know where this is going. Yep. It's just a bad Disney Channel movie made for tweens. And that's what this is. It's irredeemable other than Zendaya, who's actually quite charming in it, as much as a super young, like, I guess she was probably 18 when she made this movie, but it's like as much as an 18-year-old could be playing a 15-year-old, or 16-year-old in a movie on Disney Channel. It's called Zapped. The movie is called Zapped, and the conceit of the movie is that Zendaya's cell phone gets knocked out of her hands by her horrible new half-brother, and flies out her bedroom window and down her roof, and it goes through all these weird things as it, like basically, what are those called? The machines that do a whole bunch of stuff but don't actually do anything. Why can't I think of it? Anyway,
Rube Goldberg?
Yes. Rube Goldberg.
Right.
Rube Gold. Anyway, one of those things where like it just does all these different things, and all the entire time like little sparks are coming out, so something crazy is happening to the cell phone, and then lands in a big giant bowl of wet dog food. Okay. And so she loves her cell phone. Oh my God, it's got her entire life on it. And she goes and gets it. And her mom, who just married a dude who is the school gym teacher and yells a lot. Like, so basically she now has 3 half brothers who are just horrible each in their own way. But her mom is able to fix the phone for her. So the next morning she has a phone, but then throughout the day, she realizes that her phone has an app that she was using to control, train her dog. Her phone through the app now controls boys. She can make males of any age do anything that she wants. And it's just a whole bunch of horrible acting, as you might imagine, and just dumb plot points. And she falls in love with somebody, as you can imagine. And there's dancing, of course. There has to be dancing. And it's like cringy, like dancing if you're not into that sort of thing. And it's, I just, why?
How long was this movie?
An hour and a half.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, like I would have.
I wish you would have gotten the 17 minutes.
The 17 minutes. Actually, no, an hour and 42 minutes. I apologize. Yeah, yeah, longer than an hour and a half. It's just Zendaya is out. You can see the like. This is somebody who knows what she's doing.
Yeah,
and is going to do fine. Zendaya is going to be fine. This is going to be an asterisk and what will probably be a fantastic career. And I get to say, yeah, you know what though? I saw Zendaya's first movie. Yeah.
If she ever is a guest on our show, please bring that up.
Oh, absolutely.
And we'll see how she reacts.
I will go to any con that she's at just to ask her about Zach.
No, what you do is you buy a copy and you have her autograph it.
Oh yeah,
I'll pitch in for the DVD.
I'll buy the movie. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. She'll be like security. Oh man! Wow.
Yep.
Thank you, Netflix.
Absolutely, sure.
Yeah. Is there?
Yeah, I'm gonna. Look, I'm not gonna be an asshole. Like, I'm sure that kids loved it, so I'm gonna just go ahead. I'm gonna give it 1.5. One with guac. I'm sorry,
Gotcha.
One taco with guac. So
yeah.
The one taco because I'm sure kids liked it on some level, and the guac because of Zendaya. So there you go.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Zendaya will always get guac from me.
That's we gotta add that to the line of quotes from the show.
Yeah.
Zendaya will always get guac from me.
Absolutely.
So, yes, we do love Zendaya here.
James Wood's stomach vagina, in case you're wondering what some other quotes are.
Jeez. Oh, there it is.
Don't worry.
Again, there will be a coffee table book in the future. So, oh my. All right. Well, I guess that leaves it to me then to close out the Netflix Roulette adventure that we were on this time around. It's always fun, no doubt. I would say that mine was enjoyable, but not for the reasons of the film itself, just for the amount of time I spent there going, what? And so I'm just going to give you the title because it's quite long. I watched an Indonesian movie whose title was Satria Heroes, Revenge of the Darkness. So the title itself gets points just for, hey, this sounds intriguing.
Yeah.
But then it started.
Oh, no.
And so imagine how many of us, by show of hands, how many of us were Power Rangers fans, like the show? Power Rangers. There's one hand so far. Okay, so one
Sorry,
hand.
switch sides. You can see.
All right.
Listen, I was a kid. I didn't know any better. Okay,
Hey, I'm not judging. I'm not judging. I'm not judging at all. Because if you were, and judging from your reaction, you might still be. Like, would you revisit those shows at any point? Especially with kids, since you have kids.
May or may not have forced my children to watch.
Well, there you go.
That's a yes.
That's a yes.
Yes, you definitely forced your kids watch.
So
by the way, just really quick, there's a chance I actually saw the episode you were watching get filmed because I was living in LA when it was on, and like it just randomly there would always be something filming for Power Rangers. But continue. I'm sorry.
Oh man. So Satria Heroes Revenge of the Darkness, if it has an upside, is that it was for Power Rangers fans, it was Power Rangers on steroids. And I'm talking like big fat needle of steroids in every major joint and aspect of your body. Because it was literally the production value of Power Rangers in that there were people in very, very colorful superhero suits. The masks, it was like full face masks, just like the Power Rangers. I don't know if I'm making any sense at this point.
Yeah, no.
But like there was a great tiger one, and there was another guy who had this sort of like winged helmet action going on, and and then there was the third guy who was very sullen, and I didn't quite understand why he was sullen, but that was his role in the movie. He had a cool costume, and then the movie itself. So I think based on the end credits that this show, this movie, Satria Heroes, is based on an Indonesian, perhaps serial show of similar to Power Rangers, because there were some clips in the end credits that led me to believe, okay, these characters have been on film before, right? And the story is, basic superhero type. There's a villain. They're invading Earth. The CGI, I don't even think qualifies as CGI, because I think it was like there was a point where it was very obvious that everything was done against a green screen in terms of like images, or like maybe flat painting. Yeah. Because there was a wonderful scene, and I say wonderful because of the laughter it caused, where one of the characters, he goes to Japan, and he's there to meet the director of this particular company. And there's this very like sort of, it almost feels hand painted drawing of the building that he is going into. And it was very like all of their facial expressions, all of the acting was done in anime style, where everything was very over exaggerated. So he sees the building, and his reaction was literally this. He like, there was this dramatic pause. He sees the building, the camera pans to the painting, and he's like this. He's like, and I'm like, okay, because that's how I react when I see big buildings. Can't wait to be in New York. So it was very over exaggerated and very colorful. It was really something. And the part of the movie that took it all was when, in the midst of fighting the big bad in the movie, the villain of all villains in the film, they called upon their avatars, I guess is the best way to describe it. Their additional like animal type related. They each had an animal that they were like connected to, and so they called upon them to help them fight this impossible to beat villain, and then they all combined into this tiger hawk chicken thing.
Nice. Yes,
and they rode it. They rode the tiger hawk chicken and won the battle.
Excellent.
So
Excellent.
Exactly Power Rangers. Not even a kind of like Power Rangers, but
no,
exactly.
It sounds like Power Rangers. Can I just want to read the plot synopsis on IMDb, if I may, for a second.
I did too, so go ahead.
All right. 1 year has passed since Satria Garuda Bima X defeated Zudo, and the Earth is in peace again. Ray and Reina are rebuilding the parallel world again. However, new evil forces attack, and old enemies rise again.
Here's the thing, though, Paul.
A lot of agains.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I can tell you, having seen this film.
Yeah.
None of that happened. Not that I could tell.
Well, the point is that the first two sentences are basically, by the way, here's shit that happened previously with Sutra Heroes. But this one is just new evils popping up.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was fun. There was one thread of a story that was quite like, okay, I could see where this could have been a movie, like where there's the big bad at the end turns out to be this kid who caused the death of a friend.
Oh no.
And it was his first love and this whole thing. So but I will say that the Oscar-winning moment in this movie was when the Earth. Y'all remember? Have you seen the Avengers? There's that scene in, oh gosh, which one was it? Not Civil War. It was before that. Ultron, where Sokovia. I was going to say Wachovia. I'm like, that's the bank. Sokovia starts to rise out of the ground.
Yeah,
that kind of starts happening, and they pan to all the extras, and it was so amazing. This was Oscar worthy. You could tell that the director must have said, okay, the Earth is quaking, and they're all like, And there's this one particular moment where a person grabs, it literally looks like they grab the person next to them, like you're supposed to be shaking, like correcting them, right? It was amazing. It was amazing.
I love it.
So much fun to watch.
Love.
I didn't hate it, and it's going to get 2 full tacos plus guac from me because I had so much fun.
Excellent.
At how horrible it was. It was wonderful.
Excellent.
It was wonderful.
Love it.
Yeah. You got to check it out, Susan. If you're a Power Rangers fan, you got to check it out. That 90 minutes will go like that. Oh my. All right, well, that's our Netflix roulette from this time around. We want to thank our friends at realgood.com. You can spin the wheel yourself at realgood.com/roulette and let us know, what did you get from the all-powerful wheel? So is it whose turn will it be, Paul, to choose next time?
Yours.
Oh, well, good. I'm going to choose animated teen movies. So.
I don't think that's a. I will tell you, I'm never doing fantasy again. This did not work out as planned.
Were you hoping for some sort of Lord of the Rings kind of thing, or
like one of us to get something that was like, fun? And you got something fun, but like genuinely like interesting and fun. That's all right. It didn't work out as planned.
Hey, it was actually better than Magamudi because nobody broke out in song and dance. So
there you go.
All right. Well, don't forget, you can find us here on YouTube. We thank you for joining us. Don't forget, click that subscribe button if you haven't already. Also, click the notification bell so that you know when our episodes land week to week as we continue this journey. And also make sure you find us on Facebook and Instagram, where you can talk to us and let us know what you're watching. You can see what we're watching and keep up with us on the social media platforms. So there they are on screen for you. And we thank you for joining us. It is time for this week's segments. And as always, we start with our friend Paul with a segment we like to call, What the Hell Did I Just Watch?
Yeah. All right. So what the hell did I just watch this week? So because we were doing Netflix roulette, I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something that's on Netflix. I just felt like, it just theme. Let's theme it. So I went and did a Google search of literally just typed in weirdest movies on Netflix. And I found a list because there are entire websites based just on listing shit. And so the first movie I just picked the first movie on the list that I hadn't seen before. I actually had heard of this one before, and so I was kind of excited about it. And it's the movie is called Velvet Buzzsaw. It stars you've heard of it. Great.
Oh yeah.
It stars Jake Gyllenhaal, Renee Russo, also has Toni Collette in it, and Daveed Diggs and John Malkovich. Daveed Diggs from Hamilton fame plays Thomas Jefferson. But it's primarily Renee Russo and Jake Gyllenhaal. And it's a really fun movie. Like, I'm not even gonna lie. Like, it's a very dark comedy. It's silly. It definitely has aspects, a lot of like, what the hell's going on?
It really does.
Oh, so you've seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay, great.
In fact, I'm sorry, may I cut in just a brief second?
Please.
I was watching it and I messaged you and I said, "Have you seen Velvet Buzzsaw?" And your reaction was literally like, "No." I'm like, "Okay."
Well, okay, so yeah, I wasn't interested in seeing it, but like, since it was on the list, I was like, okay, yeah, all right, I'll go ahead and I'll do it. And it's really it's strange. Like, basically, the conceit of the movie is that somebody finds a dude and a woman who works at a hoity-toity Los Angeles art studio. Somebody dies in her apartment complex. She sneaks in, finds out that this, loner dude was an artist, but he had told the, landlord, I guess, to destroy all of his art. But she's like, this shit's actually really good, and it really was genuinely like really good art. But it turns out that like he put his soul or something into the art, and the art would kill you. Yeah. Like if you had his art, it would kill you. And but like the really funny aspects of it are just that like the art community going apeshit over this, you know, what would be considered outsider art, you know, that and like literally like going absolutely apeshit over it and like pricing it at millions of dollars, and it's like what? And but there was a line in the some of it was super corny, like it was corny on purpose, and some the dialogue that was super corny on purpose, and there was a line in the movie that made me think, oh, I need to have fun with this. So there was a line in the movie at one point, Rene Russo says to one of the people, all art is dangerous. And I was like, oh, that would be on a movie poster. And I was like, what lines could I come up with for this movie that I would put on its movie poster? So I'm going to dispense with the rest of the normal segment and just give you some of the ones that I've come up with. So the first one, all art is dangerous. Some is deadly. We've got every artist has demons. Some are demons. We have what happens when the spirit of art is the devil. Art is in the eye of the beheader. The devil is in the details and the artist. The great artists pour their souls into the art. Some literally.
Wow.
Lose yourself, and then yourself crossed out, and then written above it, your blood in your art. Because at one point they revealed that like the artist was actually using blood as a medium. One man's masterwork is another man's mass murder. Some would kill to be this talented. He does. He was the next big thing, and maybe the last.
That's the best one.
There you go. That's my review of Velvet Buzzsaw.
Oh man, I remember. I you know me, movies like that are fun for me.
Yeah. Oh, I had fun.
Jake Gyllenhaal was quite over the top.
Yeah, he dove right into his absurd role, and I'm not kidding. I genuinely enjoyed it. 3 plus guac,
Nice.
I think is fair.
Nice.
It's silly.
What did you think of the point in the film where we finally got buzzsaw action?
Oh, yeah. A lot of in the title that doesn't pay off. The title does not. I'm going to just be fair to everybody watching. If you're interested in checking it out, if you like dark comedies, it's definitely worth it. Like, I would recommend it to certain people. The title doesn't pay off until the end, and then it's like,
it's like what? Yeah, one real quick thought. Jen and I watched it. I sold her on it purely on the power of the trailer, and we both came out of it going, "Oh, the trailer was good." And so, I mean, it's not a bad movie, but it's not a great movie. So, it was a check off of my Netflix watch list, and that was about where we stood. So, I'm glad you saw it.
Now you and I have seen it, Sergio. So that means we could do. No, I'm not going to do that.
Darn it!
Look at that face. Can we make that the picture on her in the banner?
Oh man, we may still have.
No. There's
funny.
Plenty of movies that you two have seen that I haven't that you can choose from that aren't this one.
No,
this is true.
A lot. I'm being totally serious. I would not do that. Like, this is not worthy of that.
Okay. Okay. All right. Well, thank you, Paul. As always, you bring us the coolest stuff, and I was happy that this time around
I've seen it.
So
nice.
Lucky me.
Good times.
All right. Well, it is time now for this week's segment of Susan Finally Saw. Susan, I'll turn it over to you. Wow us.
I don't think I'm going to be wowing you this today. So the movie that I saw, and remember, I love to go back and look on my list and see what Paul has said, what his opinion of the movie is. In this case, he wrote, it was okay. A little underwhelming for me. All right, then. Cool. Sounds like I'll probably
Totally enjoy it.
totally enjoy it. No, it was kind of underwhelming, to be perfectly honest. So the movie that I watched was Garden State with Zach Braff.
Yeah.
I mean, it's as far as, you know, I guess romantic comedy-ish esque movies. Yep. It was kind of okay. Yeah. Like you could tell it, like there were moments where I was like, all right, okay. And then, you know, and of course you go into it thinking like, I'm gonna have this huge like romantic comedy and it's gonna be so wonderful and it's gonna be awesome. And there was fun. It was funny, but it was just kind of like it always felt like it was stifled, for lack of a better word. Like everything was grayed over, like just a little. I mean, it could have gone further, I guess.
I think that was intentional, though.
Yes and no. I think it was intentional, but I also think that if they had not intended to do it, I don't think it would have gotten any better. Like I don't think that it would have been. God, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. But like, yeah, it was lacking, just a tad.
Yep.
Yeah.
I can say I've seen it, but I don't recall. It didn't stay with me.
Right.
That's exactly it, because there was not really much to it.
I was really looking forward to that one too when it came out. Like I was like, oh, this is something I'm gonna like, and I really want to see it. And there was some buzz to it too. Like there were people that were really digging it, and I watched it and I was like, man, okay. I mean,
yeah. I mean, it was kind of a meh for me. Like, all right then. The end. Exactly. You got the little green box on my my list.
Nice.
It's done. So
hey, well, there you go. Nothing wrong with that. All right. Well, week to week, you can find out what kind of weirdness Paul's watching and what Susan watched. And so make sure you check us out here week after week. Thank you both. I am going to give us a real quick real-time rewind where I remind you of films that are out there. Because I know when this is going to release, I have one extra movie I can give y'all under the theme of movies with solo actors. And I'm going to go way back to 1971 in the feature film debut of Steven Spielberg in a movie called Duel, D-U-E-L, Duel. It is a fantastic film that I completely forgotten about. Not Duel, but
no, I don't know what I'm doing. Have a good day.
That
okay.
Was the sequel.
That was the sequel.
That was the sequel.
That's the 14th Warrior that belongs to that one.
Wow. The movie Duel is the story of a guy who is a traveling salesperson who ends up being followed by a big tanker truck, semi tanker, big truck thing. And the entire movie is the truck chasing him, but you never see the driver throughout the film, and so you're not sure why he's being chased. And from the moment the movie begins all the way to the way it ends, which is spectacular.
Ooh.
I really can't recommend this movie enough. I was amazed I'd forgotten about it. It's just one guy. And that guy is an actor by the name of, it's right here, Dennis Weaver. And he's the whole film as he tries to outrun this. It's just one big chase. And the cool part is, you're trying to figure out who's chasing him. Why is this trucker after him? What did he do? And it is wonderful. It's a really good film. I remember it fondly now that I recall it, because it was one of the first movies that my dad said, "Oh, we need to watch this." He introduced us to it. I was probably, by the time I saw it, I was maybe 9 or 10 years old, and he gathered us around and he showed us this movie. And my dad was rare to do that. It was very rare for him to do something like that. And yeah, as I was going through some research, wanting one more movie for this theme, I was like, how did I forget Duel? So highly recommend if you can find it. It is a fun watch. And it's a great glimpse of what Steven Spielberg can do on a limited budget. So there you go. That is
I
this
just
week's.
added it to my list.
Excellent.
Just now. Yeah.
Excellent. I hope I hope you don't come back and laugh at me. So
No, I won't.
Wait. Maybe I should watch it and then Paul can watch it.
Whatever you guys want to do. It's on my list. My list is
you're
long.
hilarious.
My list is long. So.
Whatever you choose to do, I'm looking forward to getting your thoughts, both of you, on this because it's a fun film. It really is.
Cool.
Okay. Well, that's our weekly segments. You can check out what we're watching and what our thoughts are on a variety of films and types of films week to week. So come on back for more. We're going to take a moment to do something we like to call real quick reviews. Paul, this has kind of turned into your sort of default segment to introduce, so I'll throw it over to you.
Okay, sure. So, we kind of established a couple weeks ago that we're going to try to fill in some Oscar gaps, and we are continuing that trend. We typically try to go for movies that are out recently, but this one's actually been out there for a while. It is called My Octopus Teacher. It's nominated under the documentary category. It was a Netflix. It is a Netflix documentary, which keeps the theme rolling on Netflix. Let's keep it going. I remember when it came up on my list of new stuff that's new to Netflix kind of stuff, and I just never put it in. Just was like, and I like nature docs. I really do genuinely like nature docs. It just never was like, but then once it was nominated for best picture or best documentary Oscar, I'm like, well, I got to watch it now. And I was super glad I did. Wow. Just great touching story. Maybe a little too touching. Yeah. Big time. Whew. I learned. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say my only question now is how will it do? I don't know the rest of the documentary nominations.
Yeah,
but oh man, talk about the heartstrings.
I've seen two, and I definitely would. If I were voting, I would vote for this one over the other one. Although interestingly enough, if there are a couple other documentaries that like had potential nomination buzz that didn't get nominated that I would vote for over this one. But of the two on the list that I have seen, I would definitely vote for this one. The other one I saw was Crip Camp, which is available on some streaming service. I don't remember which, but this one is like, it's just so touching and just so like, I mean, a dude develops a genuine like relationship and not like a one-way thing, but like a relationship that's, your dog loves you. This fucking octopus loves this guy.
Yeah.
And it's amazing. It's just,
yeah.
And I'll tell you, this is, Sergio, we talk about it a lot, how, you're watching a movie and then there's some that you just like, oh, I need to get on the internet right away and research stuff. And I was not like that for this movie until the very, very end. And I'm like, this can't be true.
Yeah.
This can't be true. And I looked it up and I was like, it is true. Why did I not know this?
Yeah.
So I learned stuff about octopuses that I didn't know, octopi that I did not know before.
Seeing the effect that it has on him, on the guy and his relationship with his son it's so beautifully shot.
So beautiful.
I love nature documentaries, and I'm not always a fan of underwater nature documentaries. This one, I forgot it was underwater. It was such a developed relationship between the guy and the octopus, and I've never experienced anything like this where I thought, man, like I have run the gamut of emotions here, because I at the beginning, I don't know about you, Paul, but at the beginning I felt like this guy's gonna be weird. Like there's just something about
100%
weird. But then
let's be fair. Developing a relationship with an octopus is freaking weird. Like,
yeah.
But you could literally have made just a documentary of the fact that this guy is a skin diver. He does not dive with anything but a mask, a snorkel, and fins. That's it. In super cold water.
Yeah.
And he talks about how it's like, yeah, it takes a minute to get used to the water, but then once you start doing it, you have to go in. It's like, fuck, no, I don't. Are you crazy?
I won't even do that under my cold shower. What are you talking about?
He's diving really deep under there.
Yeah,
and
he
it's
is.
like, and like, so, you know, unfortunately, the first like 20 minutes of the time, like, how is he developing a relationship with an octopus when he has to come up for air every 3 minutes? And like, that's like, how is he holding his breath for more than 3 minutes? It's insane. And footage that he gets, it's like, wow. Continue.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No. You're right on. I mean, all I was going to say was that first few minutes, the image in the first few minutes where he's talking about having to get used to the cold of the water.
Yeah.
It just the image of him in those tossing waves as he submerges. You know, you see that this is a guy who knows what he's doing and is doing this in water that is not, you know, this is not your typical scuba or snorkeling experience, you know?
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautifully shot film.
It's beautifully shot.
Yeah.
Absolutely gripping. Just absolutely gripping. And I'm not going to spoil this movie, but you will learn stuff about octopuses. And like somebody, I think it was on your page, Sergio, that somebody was, it might not have been your page, but somebody commented about like the 5 smartest animals after a human are bump, 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 bump. And then I was like, I think an octopus should be like, I have a dog. My dog can't figure out the shit that this octopus figures out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Oh man,
like, he just can't. You know, he's not that smart.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought this to us, Paul, because when you suggested it, again, I've never been one to dive into the Oscar-nominated documentary films, and again, I love documentaries, but I thought, you know, okay, I'll be honest. I finished my movie, and Netflix popped and said, like, here, you know how it gives you the next, like 3 trailers that are going to start in a few seconds, and My Octopus Teacher was the first one, and I'm like, well, if that's not a sign, and so and it was done. It was quick. It wasn't a very long film.
No, it
wasn't 17 minutes, but
highly recommend.
Oh
this
yeah,
one. Please, if you're listening, if you're watching, please check out My Octopus Teacher.
It was 5+ watt for me. I mean, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
So. Now I wanted to win an Oscar.
Yeah. That's welcome to having seen only one movie in a category and liking
and wanted it to win. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, you know, it's been another fun episode. I'm excited to go ahead and just say that our next episode is going to be quite something. Quite something.
I watched a prep movie this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going back to. Movie. Yeah, I'm gonna.
I loved it. Should we? Do you want me to give away? Are we reserving, or do we just want to be like?
Let's do it. I really
watched
stoked.
Kong Skull Island.
I love that movie so much.
I definitely see. So this is where you and I can agree on bad action movies. It's not on 13th Warrior. It's on this because I love that movie too, and. Yeah. I definitely liked it way more than it deserved, and I am gonna similarly like
it's a fun romp.
Godzilla versus Kong way more than it deserves, and I'm super stoked about it. And Susan is clearly super stoked about it too.
No, but seriously, Susan, if you can watch you can't just tell someone watch the Godzilla movie because there's so many. But
we're strictly talking the reboot. Stuff,
this particular reboot series. Yeah, the first Godzilla movie.
I loved it
in this series.
Yeah,
Kong Skull Island. Yeah, you don't need to do Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Although you can if you want.
Yeah,
I still liked it.
Yeah.
I still liked it.
Yeah, but no, I'm stoked about this one because Kong Skull Island was such a fun romp. It was so much fun. Yeah. But yeah, so I'll be watching it this Wednesday. So we'll be talking about it soon. And we'll have that for you the next time we get together here on Real to Real Talk. And I'm looking forward to it because we're all going to wear our favorite Godzilla or Kong costumes.
Yes, we've agreed on that.
Yes, we have.
I'm going to be Mothra. So
there you go.
Ready.
Awesome.
kidding.
All right, Susan. Make sure you. Susan could probably sew you a Mothra costume. So.
Probably with my copious amounts of free time.
I'm a pretty Mothra.
Oh man!
Careful what you wish for. You might end up with a package in the mail in the next couple of days.
Yes.
Nice.
I will absolutely wear it if you make it.
There you go. Challenge.
You heard it here, folks.
100%. Yes.
All right, that will be our next episode of Real to Real Talk. As far as this one goes, we thank you so much for joining us. Don't forget, follow us here on YouTube. Click that subscribe button and also click on the notification bell so you know when our episodes land. You can also find us on Facebook and on Instagram. Keep up with us at Real to Real Talk so that you know what we're watching, what we're going to be talking about, and talk to us. Let us know what you're thinking. But more importantly than that, on behalf of Paul and Susan and all of us here at the show, don't forget, you're awesome. You're amazing. And the world's a better place because you are in it. We'll see you next time on Real to Real Talk.
It's mirrored.